Hello, welcome back to video number 2 for our fantasy art lesson. I am going to go over the images that I went over last time with you before we get started and the materials you're going to need, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. This is my canvas right here. I'm going to do a large canvas. You all have a smaller your large piece of construction paper, which is going to be smaller than mine. So last time we went over the drawing images, and then we created our own rough sketches when we did our practice. So here's my rough sketch. I used contour drawing. You might have done contour drawing. You might have done sketching. Joey did contour drawing as well, and here was his. So the thing I pointed out to Joey was that, hey, remember, this right here, he has a tendency to draw on the smaller side. So he needs to stretch himself in order to fill up most of his paper to draw on the bigger side. So if you have the tendency to draw small, I want you to stretch yourself bigger. If you have the tendency to draw big, like I kind of do, you need to make sure that you're giving yourself enough space and you don't run out of room on your paper. You might be a medium drawer, and then that just puts you right in the middle. So just kind of check yourself as you're going with spacing, okay? So I'm just going to cruise through really quickly because we're going to get started in the drawing. These are the images that I shared with you. They should be on Google Classroom. Here's a hippogriff. Another example of a hippogriff. Part griffin, part horse. A hippocampus, part horse, part fish. Another one, hippocampus right here. Here is a unicorn with without wings. Here's a unicorn with wings. A sea lion, part fish. Another sea lion. A satyr, half man, half goat. Usually plays an instrument or has a staff of some sort. Another satyr. Joey and I are doing a centaur. Part man, part horse. So we had this up for a majority of last lesson because that's the image we drew. Here's a fairy. Another image of a fairy. And then I shared that with you last time, an image of a bunch of fantasy animal creatures, I guess you could say. And then, of course, you have your drawing aid. Front and back for this page, and then just front for this page. I also gave you the option of drawing a dragon or a sea serpent. However, we did draw one for Chinese New Year last year in 5th grade, so I didn't give any images this time. So I was trying to encourage you guys to do something different unless either you really, really loved it or you were not able to participate in that lesson last year. So that's really up to you. So I'm going to do a centaur. I have my my warm-up right here, and some of you might have done a warm-up on the front, a warm-up on the back. You might have drawn 2 different ones, and you're going to choose one now. So what we're going to do is we're going to really focus on our spacing, and if you're going to do a centaur with me, we're going to start with the head and work down the body of the horse. So we're going to start, I'm going to start with the man's head, and I'm going to bring my Sharpie down. I'm going to be using Sharpie because pencil doesn't really show up very well when I do videos this far away on this large canvas. So I just did the nose, and I came down the mouth, and I did the chin, and here's the neck area, and here's his hairline. I'm going to have it come down like this, and I'm going to put his ear here and the other side of his neck. Then I'm going to come in and finish off his hair over here and give him a beard. And I'm kind of going at a fast pace. I want you to go at a pace that's comfortable for you. If you are doing a centaur and I'm guiding you, then feel free to pause the video at any time and catch up as needed. If you're doing your own creature that's different than a centaur and you don't need my guidance, you can put some music on if you'd like. Or if there's a friend that you're working with, you guys can be, just kind of chatting and having a nice conversation. Maybe you're doing it through Zoom or through, what do you use?
Google Meet.
Google Meets, okay? So here's his muscular arm there, and then I'm going to do his forearm right here, and then I'm going to do this, the bottom of the forearm here, and the bottom of the bicep muscle right there, okay? So I have my arm stretching out, and I'm going to get ready to start doing a bow and arrow right here. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to do the outline of my bow and arrow. And feel free at all times to erase when needed. Draw really lightly or sketch really lightly, whichever you're doing. If you're doing contour drawing, contour draw lightly. If you're sketching, sketch it lightly. In case you need to do any type of erasing. Okay? I'm going to finish off my bow and arrow, and then I'm going to add his hand. So here's the hand coming up, and I'm going to have the thumb wrapping around, and his 4 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers wrapping around, and then the bottom of the hand. So I have his outstretched arm and his bow. I can guide the arrow through his hand, and I can bring it back to right about there. I'll stop there, and I can give him the arrow for his bow and arrow here. I want you to know that after you're done drawing in this video also, you're going to be doing the Sharpie, but or in this lesson, since I'm already doing the Sharpie, that's going to just be step number 2 for you. When you're all done with your pencil, you're going to come back with your Sharpie. I didn't even say what materials we needed. I just started the video. You guys know you need a pencil, an eraser, you're going to need your black Sharpie, and you're going to need your large piece of construction paper. I apologize for that. And the other thing that I just blew through was our how to stay in a positive mindset. So I'm just going to pause real quick, take a step back. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Okay, so I'm going to put them up. So we are going to always try our best. If we get frustrated, we're going to take a deep breath, either count to 10 or take a break, and take a, if you counted to 10, take a deep breath, come on back and try it again. If you just needed a break in general, just press the pause button, come on back when you're done. This can be frustrating. Drawing, contour drawing, sketching, that can be frustrating for some of us. Number 3, everyone's art will turn out differently. Your artwork is uniquely yours, so I can't wait to see how yours turns out. Even if you're drawing a centaur like Joey and I are doing, yours is going to be different. And number 4, art is not perfect. Okay, so we're looking to have fun. We are not looking for perfection. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do the back of him. He's facing the front. Here's his shoulder going out this way and his bicep, and then the rest of his arm, and then I'm going to kind of make an oval-like shape to do his arm holding the bow, okay? There's his elbow coming out. Here's his hand coming up, and his 4 fingers holding the bow. His thumb is going to be on the other side of the arrow, so it's not going to be shown there. And then I can do the very back of the arrow here that he is holding. And then the last thing I can do is add Joey. So I'm going to make a confession. I let Joey start before the video because I was doing laundry. So he drew his, and then he just Sharpied his. And so this is, can I show him your final product? Sure. Okay, so this is Joey's final product of his centaur. So he did half man, half horse with a very voluptuous flowing tail. So the last thing I'm going to ask Joey to do is I'm going to ask him to clean up his pencil marks and erase them, because in video number 3 we're going to come back, and one thing we really haven't done this year is we haven't used color pens. So we're going to come back and use color pens to color in for the last video, video number 3. So Joe, the last thing you need to do before you are done, oh, and then Joey, you have your, the bow strings right here need to be Sharpied. And then you just need to clean up your pencil marks. So come on back. Okay. Thanks. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go down his torso. Here's his chest. right here, very muscular, always extremely muscular. And then it comes down like this. Okay, and then I can do the string to the bow coming down. The string to the bow here as well. Okay, coming back. I'm going to add his bag. I'm doing layers here because I'm working with Sharpie. I'm going to add his bag so he has he's going to have a little strap coming over his chest and his bag coming back holding his arrows. And then I'm going to do the details of his chest and his six-pack abdomen area. So here is kind of a shape of a long, skinny oval for the strap. And then I can bring up almost like a oval shape also for his, thanks Joe. I can bring up the bag that his arrows are going to be held in, and then I can put some arrows in there. Just like that. Joey took off. He's done. Okay, and then I can add the arrows coming up. So the way I do the arrows coming up is I did what would you call that? Thank you, Sarah. Joey's sister's here. She's my video assistant, would you say? So I had the sticks of my arrows coming up this way. Then I'm going to do the little part right here of the arrow. I did a diagonal line coming out and then a slanted line up on both sides. And then I'm just going to do little V's going across to create the arrows. And then I can do a straight line going across and then come down with just some straight lines to do the backs of the arrows. Okay? So now it's time for me to add the facial features and the chest area and the abdomen. So I'm going to do his eyes, kind of like what we talked about last time, where I did an acute right angle right here. Here's my 90-degree angle. Here's my acute right angle right here, where it's less than 90 degrees, so this would be the open eye. So I'm going to do that. It looks like an L. And do the eyeball. And then I'm going to just do a thick, bushy eyebrow for him. Coming down here for the chest, I'm going to do these are called pectoral muscles. So I'm going to come up for his pectoral muscles, finish that off here. And then I'm going to do his abdomen area. It's kind of like a long oval area here. And then I'm going to come down for his six-pack lines. It actually reminds me of like a Ninja Turtle shell. That's what it reminds me of. Or maybe even like Spider-Man. I don't know. I think more of a Ninja Turtle for me. Okay, so I am done with my half man, and now I'm going to kick down here to do the horse. So what's comfortable for me is to do the back of the horse, so I can kind of do sections of the back of the horse like this. And then I'm going to leave room here for my tail. I'm going to do a bushy tail like what Joey did, like a flowing tail in the wind. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to leave a little space for my tail, and I'm going to just pick my pin up, and I'm going to come down and do the rest of his his backside there, and come down to the hind legs. So I can do the outline for the very back leg here. I'm going to do a muscular back leg here, and then close it up and give it a hoof. That to me kind of just reminds me of almost like a trapezoid, but rounded. Now I can do the tail. I'm going to do like a flowing, swishing tail. So I'm going to have the tail coming out like this, coming out like that, and then I'm just going to kind of, give it some flow, just like this. All right, so there's my flowing tail. And then I'm going to do the underside of the belly of the horse. after I bring the chest of the horse out this way, the front of it, I'm going to do the underbelly right here, swooping. And remember, you can be erasing along the way as you need. You know, it's really hard to be able to do any type of contour drawing or sketching without erasing. I am using a Sharpie, but I'm going to confess to you right now, and I've done this before in the past, when I use my large canvas, is I pre-sketch it before I teach you the lesson. That's why I'm able to go so fast. I am not expecting you to go this fast at all. In fact, I
always do that.
I do. I wouldn't be surprised if you've paused the video multiple times if you are doing a centaur right now, just to keep pace with me, because I am going pretty quickly. So go at your own pace, take your own time, rewind if you need to go back to a certain part of the body, or pause if you need a little bit more time yourself. Okay, I'm going to do the front leg. I'm going to kick the front leg out and come down just like that. Kick this front leg out and down, close it up, and then give the hoof here. Now I'm going to do the very back legs, and I'm going to have this back leg kind of up in the air, and then this back leg I'm going to have bending forward also. So I'm just kind of coming down, doing the shape of a horse's leg the best I can. And then there's the hoof. And just to remind you, you guys have all the drawing aids that were provided. You could be looking at those. You could be listening to music right now. Just taking your time, enjoying your art.
You're done.
I'm done. So I did a centaur, a half man, a half horse. I can't wait to see what you guys all decided for your fantasy art, I would say, subject matter. This is called the subject matter, what you decided to draw. And then when you're done drawing with your pencil, you are going to take your Sharpie. If you have the Sharpie from when it was handed out from school, that will be good. Or for your finer details, you can use either a thin Sharpie if you have one at home, or see how it's really fine tipped, or you can use a black pen that could possibly be in your home that an adult uses to like make a, like a grocery list or something. Just make sure it's black. And trace everything, and then the next video, we will be coloring everything in using marker. Yeah, using marker. His pecs up here, pectoral muscles, and a six-pack right there. So now that I have done my, as I confessed to you, I had pre-drawn it, and so I was just tracing with my Sharpie. So I was a step ahead of you. I've already done my tracing. Now what I can do is I can use my eraser. Sarah, will you hand me your eraser? Thank you. I can use my eraser, and I can just start coming in here and erasing my pencil lines that I didn't quite trace over exactly, which is fine. I'm just going to go through and just erase so that when I come back for video number 3,
I'm right there.
I'm right there. Thank you. So when I come back for video number 3, you guys will see that it's nice and cleaned up. Yours will be nice and cleaned up. Yours will be Sharpied, and then you'll be ready for the coloring in. I'll get there, yeah. You'll be ready for coloring it in with, I think we're going to do markers. We've done a lot of oil pastels this year. We just did watercolor. We've done quite a bit of color pencil, but I think it would be fun to use a different medium. So I'm going to suggest using pens, colored pens. If you don't have any colored pens, then just use whatever, you can bring whatever colored supplies or materials you have. So that's it to wrap it up for video number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to see what yours turn out to look like. I will show you one more time. Here's Joey's. See how it even
looks like a hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going right here.
It looks like a hand. Well, you know what? That's his swooshing tail. So here's Joey's. He already did his Sharpie And then next step, he's going to come back and we're going to color all together. So we will see you for video number 3. Good luck, have fun, take your time, and persevere. Thank you guys.
Bye.